Welcome back to Simply Southern. It is September and we've got Sweet Grown Alabama's Aisling Fields here in the studio with us to talk about the seasonal produce that you can still find from our local farmers. So Aisling, thanks for being here.
Happy to be back.
Yeah, so let's start with some of the things that have been in season for a while and you may still be able to find these.
Right, so we've got onions are still in season, tomatoes are kind of wrapping up in September. You know, this is kind of our transition from summer getting into our fall crops, but you can still find those mostly in South Alabama with the warmer seasons.
Yeah, and I know our tomato plants at home, they actually kind of enjoy getting a little break from the heat, so they'll start producing a little bit more in September. So I like that we can still have a tomato sandwich into September. And cantaloupes too, that's something else, I guess, that you can find still?
Absolutely, yeah, cantaloupe's still in season, you know, kind of wrapping up, but you can enjoy melons. You know, we still have a little bit of watermelon in season as well. Those melons are enjoying the cooler seasons as well.
All right, now coming into season, let's start talking about some of that. Apples are something that you can find in Alabama, maybe not South Alabama, but where can you find some apple producers?
Right, so we have tons of apple producers in our North Alabama area. These are from Scott's Orchard up in Hazel Green, and they do you pick apples, they do all kinds of fun stuff like that. You can take the kids out, pick some apples, pick buckets, all that fun stuff. And they're just delicious if you want to make your own pies or if you just want to take one and eat it right out there in the orchard.
Yeah, and if it is still hot in September, one thing I love about Scott's Orchard, those slushies that they make, so good. So very refreshing and nice. But let's move over to some beans and peas, and we've had some fun with trying to pronounce scuppernins and the correct pronunciation for that, and muscadines as well.
Absolutely right. We have butter beans and peas are, you know, still in season, but one thing that I like to do is take the butter beans and blanch them, and you can enjoy them all winter. You can blanch them for just like 5 minutes or so, put them up in Ziploc bags, and you gotta lay them real flat so they freeze good. Freeze them like that, and you can enjoy those all season, which is just, you know, delicious. You get farm fresh vegetables all season long. Scuppernins, I'm struggling on that one too, so I'm gonna stay out of that one. But
Yeah.
The muscadines are delicious too. We have lots of farmers that you can go you-pick these, or you can go pre-pick buckets. I like to make jams and jellies with them, you know, you can enjoy those, or you can bake them in pies. They're just tons of great things to do. We even have a lot of wineries in Alabama that people might not know about that use these local muscadines and scuppernins to make local wines.
That's fantastic. And one thing with the peas and the beans, it's great when you can add a little pork fat of some sort. And you guys also have meat producers that are members of Sweet Grown Alabama.
Right, you can buy pork from lots of our farmers at sweetgrownalabama.org and, you know, cut out some of that back fat and throw that in with a little salt, and that's how I like to enjoy it.
All right, well, Aisling, thank you so much for being here with us and for telling us what's in season. Now, Stacy Little is up next. Today in the SouthernBite.com test kitchen, he's making a Southern breakfast classic, tomato gravy.
I'm Dillon Turk with Martin's Nursery in Sims, Alabama, and we grow container plants. My grandfather started the nursery officially in 1973. Before that, most of this place was his family's dairy, and you know, he knew one thing growing up: he didn't want to work at the dairy, so the nursery was a good option. The plants we grow out here are azaleas, probably about 60%. The other 40% or so is made up of a general mix of landscape shrubs, you know, your gardenias, loropetalum, Indian hawthorn, things like that. Most of our customers fall into one of two categories. Those categories could be defined as what I'd consider a re-wholesale nursery or a grow-and type nursery. The re-wholesale, those folks are buying in product for their end users. So it would be supplying your Lowe's and your Home Depot and places like that. The other side of that coin would be your growing nurseries, your folks like us that are container wholesale nurseries that, you know, what we grow may be a starter plant for what their end product is. We do a little bit of stuff from seed, but most of it starts out as a cutting. We take a cutting off of an existing plant, we take that cutting into a greenhouse where we can control the environment, and it'll form its own root system, and given time and proper conditions, it'll become its own plant. We'll bring it out of the greenhouse and pot it into a bigger pot. Then that's put out into the field, and it'll stay there until it's ready to be sold. Your homeowner or your landscaper might be going to Lowe's or a Home Depot. Just because they're buying it at the retail store doesn't mean it didn't come from a place like this. Local nurseries are providing local stores with their plant material, and in turn, it's ending up in their community. I can watch a cutting become its own plant and end up being sold or put on a truck ready to go out to a customer. And being able to see that from beginning to end is something I've always appreciated. I'm Dillon Turk with Martin's Nursery, and container plants are sweet-grown Alabama.
Discover what's growing in your neck of the woods at sweetgrownalabama.org.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
You can save some green on your next big green machine purchase. Alabama Farmers Federation members qualify for an upgraded John Deere Rewards membership, which offers discounts on equipment including mowers, utility vehicles, and tractors. For details, visit alphafarmers.org/perks. Click on the Home and Outdoors category, and then click on the John Deere logo. Follow the instructions, and you could save hundreds. It's just one of the perks of being an Alabama Farmers Federation member.
Not littering is not hard. If you've accumulated trash in your vehicle, don't throw it out the window. Throw it in a can at the gas pump. Throw it in a can at a storefront. Throw it in a can at work. Or throw it in the can at home. Just don't drop it on Alabama. Not littering is not hard. Brought to you by People Against a Littered State, the Alabama Department of Transportation, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
For more Simply Southern, follow us on social media. And while you're online, visit our website, simplysouthern.tv.net. Simply Southern continues in a moment.
Sweet-grown Alabama, we just saw it as such an amazing platform to be able to market for farmers and small Alabama businesses.
Being a niche producer, a commercial mushroom laboratory, it's very important that we kind of get the word out about who we are. And Sweet Grown has been monumental in helping us do that.
I think just support your local community, your neighbor. That's the backbone.
Discover what's growing in your neck of the woods at sweetgrownalabama.org.